Hi, my name is Alondra Cervantes, and today I will be presenting to you the effect of caffeine on radish plant growth. Alright, so the overall purpose of this experiment was to plant seeds and observe their growth in different conditions. For this experiment, I will be creating a data table to collect my data. My data table will have the time I spent watering the seeds in days. In my table, I will also include the three forms a plant will grow in: just soil, regular coffee grounds, and decaf coffee grounds mixed with soil. Something I found out because of this project was that coffee helped plant growth, which is why I asked this question to you guys. Did you know people used coffee to help their plants grow? I chose to grow this organism because both my mom and I thought it would be beneficial. We both like growing vegetables home style. My hypothesis for this project was, if a radish seed is placed into a pot with used coffee grounds mixed with soil, then a plant will grow, then the plant growth will improve because coffee grounds have magnesium and potassium which help it grow. Did you know caffeine is a chemical in coffee and in other sugary products? The caffeine most people talk about is the one in coffee, but what most people don't know is that it could be used for plants. It is a chemical catalyst used to increase the biological process in plants. The radish is a vegetable that has a fast germination. It tends to sprout at temperatures as low as 40 degrees, but it is best if placed in a setting where it is 55 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It is said that carrots and radish seeds tend to do well in coffee grounds. Okay, jumping right into what I did for this experiment are the following. The only materials needed for this were soil, a couple of radish seeds, 9 pots, and regular and decaf coffee. Then I used coffee grounds with the soil and made sure they were all equally shared. I also included triplicates, which are 3 seeds for each experimental condition. In total, there were 9 pots, 3 pots for each condition, which were soil, regular, and decaf coffee. Then I placed them all by a window where they were all able to get sunlight. But there were some days that it was rainy and cloudy, so there was a couple of days that they didn't get as much sun as others. And I also made sure that the amount of water was the same, equally shared with everyone, and water was given to each pot every 4 days for 4 weeks. Here are some pictures I took May 7th, which was the day I last measured them. As you see, they have grown out to be almost the same size. I measured all of them in centimeters. To the right is how I kept the data throughout 4 weeks. As you see, I have the days listed from April 12th all the way to May 7th. And then I also have 3 pots that were labeled for soil, 3 pots for regular coffee, and 3 other pots for decaf coffee. Maybe you can see if you get closer that I was just recording like on April 12th, the day that I planted and watered them that same day, and then I basically wrote down like the days that it just got sunlight, the days they got watered, the days that I saw growth, like for example on April 16th was when they sprouted and when I saw a little bit of green. Let's say the first time I measured them, they were all about like 5 centimeters, 4.5. One was 3, which was the lowest one, which was decaf, but it also had a 6 centimeters in decaf as well, and that was the first time. And at the end, May 7th, is where I took all my last observations and my last measurements, which were 8 centimeters, 7.5, 8.5, 9, 8.5. You know, they were all just around the same. Next, I will talk to you all about all the 9 pots. And here I am just wanting to say that the first 3 pots for soil, as you see I have like 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and 3 out of 3, is because in each pot I planted 3 seeds just to see if all were gonna come out or if only 2 or 1. And as you see for these soil pots, they were pretty good, and there was just one that had 2 out of 3, which is still not bad. And then same for regular. Actually, all of them came out. It also, something that I saw was that it had a shortest stem, which was 2 centimeters, and regular coffee grounds with soil also resulted in like, they had small leaves. And for decaf coffee, there were also some 3 out of 3 seeds that came out, and one that only had 2 out of 3, which is still fine. An observation I made for the decaf coffee was that it had the tallest stem, which was 10 centimeters, and for the decaf also, the observation I made was that the stems were bright red. Overall, they all had red stems. There were a few light pink stems, but that was still fine. Other observations were that some leaves had heart-shaped and others had like the usual shape of a leaf. Something else was that there were also yellow colored leaves, and of course there were also green leaves. Finally, to conclude, I believe that this experiment was successful. My hypothesis was supported. Based on the images and measures in centimeters from my data, the radish seeds planted in a pot with caffeinated soil, which were decaf and regular coffee grounds, did show to have a faster growth rate. Keeping my data helped me determine the growth rate between all of them. So overall, my hypothesis was supported because caffeinated soil did help it more than the usual regular soil. So I would suggest that you try out and grow some plants at your house with caffeinated soil. As you saw, you don't need much of you don't need a lot of like tools, materials. It was pretty simple to do. But overall, I had fun doing this project, so thank you. And here are just my references. Thank you.